Greetings, world. Welcome to another MEN-talRollaDeK Live. Today's topic is stop sabotaging yourself. For those of you that would like to participate, by all means, be advised that the link is above the title of the show, above the video. If you have something you care to share, please follow the steps, come in, give us your take. All sides are always welcome. Everyone is always welcome as long as you stay positive, conscious of your dialect, and speak the truth. This is what this platform is about. It's about the truth. My objective is never to change individuals from being individuals. At the end of the day, be you, remain true to you. So, sabotage. How do we sabotage ourselves? What is sabotage pertaining to you? I know for me, sabotage can be second guessing myself, right? Like having a vision, believing that vision within me, but to step forth to accomplish that vision is another story. At times I become reluctant to actually follow through. And the voices, yes, the voices that's within my head pretty much tells me at a certain point, no, you can't do that. That's not what we're used to. It won't work. For me, that is sabotage. And as much as we want to say, no, we don't sabotage ourselves, we have to step back and understand that we do. Because nobody else holds the controller to you but you, right? There is no one there that's aiming to actually screw you over, right? So what we do based on these traumas that we have ingested from many years ago, right? We hold on to them. We don't know how to detach from these traumas. So here we are, 34, 32, older, 40 adults now, and we still have these traumas within our frame, right? And they're very effective. So what we do, we allow them to affect us, right? And then we blame it on somebody else because they're in front of us. So therefore, why not? They're the closest thing to us, right? So we exude everything onto them. Oh, it's your fault. Why such and such has happened. If I never met you, this and this wouldn't actually took place, so on and so forth. But when you step back and evaluate the situation with a conscious mind, it doesn't play out that way. And that's really not what it is. And we have to understand that. Greetings, King.
What up? What up? What up?
What's the word, man?
Shit.
How you how you
I'm,
feeling?
I'm good. I got so much going on, whatever. Yeah, I was talking to you about something the other day. I need a refresher real quick.
That's what it is. Like the sabotage can flow into the disrespect of oneself and the respect that we have for ourselves, especially as Aboriginal people. In your likeness, blacks, right? That's what we were actually talking about.
What we were talking about again? We say?
The lack of respect that we have
Right,
for each other,
right.
right? And I summed it up to us sabotaging ourselves and how
Listen.
they actually correlate pretty much.
Well, that's something that's very ongoing. Actually, I was talking to a person about that today. She was sending me these these games that they play on Facebook, and I was like, no disrespect, but give me a second. I'm going to get back to the respect stuff, whatever. I was like, no disrespect, but please don't send me any of those stuff. Like, why we don't endorse our own stuff? Why we don't own anything? And I also narrated to her, we're some of the most stubbornest people and at times most difficult people to work with. And that's because of lack of respect for each other. Getting back
But
on topic. And
but what I'm stating, King, it see the thing what we do, right? We don't look at the steps or the actual mishaps that actually brought that person to where they're at. You get what I'm saying? Because that person has been through a tremendous amount of whether it's hurt or work to be that person that they are now, right? So we
Mhm.
have to go back and look at it like, yo, what transpired in this individual life to have this individual feeling the way this individual is feeling, and how did this individual get here? Because if you analyze us as a child, we're more carefree, we're more balanced with nature. There's no fear, like there is no lack of happiness. But the more adults we become, the more fear comes into play, and the more we create these conditions and terminologies and how we reflect people and how we want them to mimic us, but in actuality we don't mimic ourselves because there's not a liking for ourselves. I'm not even going to touch base on actual society and the stigmas that they brought forth onto us. So we got to look at the in betweens. There's a lot of in between that actually comes into play, you being who you are today.
that that's a fact. But at the same token, you're much older now. Like, how much longer are you gonna hold on to those things of the past?
But
We're supposed
look,
to be moving forward, growing, knowledge, um, emancipating ourselves, teaching ourselves, learning things. But are you always going to be a part of the system? Are you going to keep on blaming the system, or are you going to do something to make sure you don't become a part of the system? Pretty
but
much.
look, but look, it's I'm not even touching base on a system yet. There's not a system yet, right? Or let's put it in that term. You state a system, right? All right, let's look at it like, what system are you talking about? Are you talking about the system of your parents, what they have actually instilled on you, right? Because from a child, that you were in the guidance of your parents, right? And then the guidance introduced you to a television, they introduce you to music. So the people that is sketching out your steps as you flow is your parents. So okay, I guess you're in the system of your parents, right?
Right.
So in the midst of actually taking on, damn, the mouse fell. So in the system of actually taking on other people's shit, right? Or other people's feelings and emotion, you keep pushing yours back, right? So the more you push yours back, the more you lose who you are, King. So you can't really blame the system because there's a lot of people that's aware of the system, right? And still flow with the system because they feel like it's the norm.
But shit isn't.
It's not. So in order for
No.
you to gravitate and grow, what you really have to do is deprogram
Yeah,
from
that's
whatever
what I did.
system.
That's that's what I did this year. I basically did that because I never knew about Black history like that. I never knew about Black history. I taught myself that back all over again. I learned about Tesla. I learned about a little bit more Marcus Garvey. I learned about I learned about how America took over Hawaii. I learned about how the white men always put these these laws into place to fuck niggas over. Excuse my language. This is what they do. They put the laws. They put these laws into play, and when they put these laws into play, they come in with their taxes and stuff like that. and then it's beneficial for them. That's why I said the system. And the white people are the
So
one them that create these systems.
so so basically, you're saying they're sabotaging you.
They've
They
been doing it.
they've
They've
been
been
doing.
doing
Wait. Okay, all right. So see, I'm a person that don't take. I don't aim for sides. I look at a deeper perspective, right? Okay. Um, if I come with you and I show you a gun, right? And I show you the gun, you took the gun and you fired it. Am I the only one to blame? Or we both are?
We both are,
O-
because
Okay. With me saying
you
that, you also got to look, right? The so-called system, you're saying that they've changed the laws. Who taught them these laws? Because in one book or one form of history, right, we claim we taught them not only how to read, but we taught them everything they know. So whose system are they using?
the one that they created on their own.
How? They didn't know it. They didn't know it in the beginning, right? Because if you speak to a lot of the elders, a lot of the system that they're utilizing is from us. So they've weaponized something that we've created because we taught them how to be civil, right? A lot of elders claim they're Caucasides. They came out of the caves. They didn't know how to whatever. They don't know how to be humane. We taught them how to be humane, right? So at what point in our lives do we take responsibility for the shit that we actually created?
That's a good one.
And
I'm,
two, go ahead.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
enter the I'm gonna enter the studio from a
I see.
yeah.
I see. I
Yeah.
see.
Better now?
It's fine. You Gucci, man. Your camera is ish, but it's all good.
One second, one second. One second, one second. It's so
Yo,
far.
mute yourself, man.
Where's my mic?
So to get back to my point, that's the thing that we have done, right? We continue to look at one side of the story versus the entire story. Like there's not a whole pie, right? We want to say, oh, it's this person's fault why certain things are happening and so on and so forth. But like what he said, right? They supposedly create this system and they use the system to sabotage us, right? But look, by him saying they create this system and they're using it to sabotage us, let me know he's aware of the system. So, given the fact that you're aware of the system, you can either participate or get the app out of the system. So, who's to blame? You, because you're sabotaging yourself. Yo, King, how many screens you gonna have, man? Like, come on.
I'm trying to get this
That one is a lot clearer. So fix that one onto yourself. Yes, that one is way better. The other camera was straight shit.
yeah, I gotta
You
turn the
need
light
a
on.
you need a tripod for your phone or whatever you're using so you can stand it up. You don't have to hold it.
Yeah.
But in the realm of this sabotaging thing, you're at the helm of it. Stop blaming other people. Yeah, do they play into it or do they have something to do with it? Sure. But what are you gonna do to actually get up out of it? Because when you point one finger, three's pointing back at you. So talk to me.
Well, I would definitely say your best bet is retrain your mind to think back all over again, so you don't have to you have a better understanding of life. It's like this, right? I was watching like a I'm probably gonna segue off of this real quick, but um I was watching the Matrix, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a guy was doing a breakdown of it, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it came down to the red pill and the blue pill,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter what pill he chose, he feels within himself he's gonna make the right choice, right? If you take the red pill, he said he's gonna show you how deep the rabbit hole gets. And if you take the blue pill, you're basically gonna stay in dreamland. The
Okay.
system, the system is designed to basically oppress people. It's designed to profit off people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also designed to destroy and rebuild itself. That means if
Okay.
one side is losing, everybody's gonna run to the next side to make sure they build this back up.
Okay.
You understand? And we're a part of the system. And it doesn't
Okay.
matter what decision that we make, we could do but so much. But if we as people come together cohesively and have our mind locked on getting certain things straightened out and get things fixed our way instead of having
Mm-hmm.
money swaying everything, making the best decision for us, maybe we'll have a better voice. But when one person is saying it and everybody else is going with it,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna go with majority. I'm gonna segue again. It's just, yo, go sit down. Go sit down. Give you another example, right? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
show you why things is always the way it is. If if they have these stoplights in Long Island, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the stoplights they have in Long Island, they were giving people a lot of tickets, whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
Now these people start saying to themselves, we pay great taxes.
Okay.
So why is it they have these stoplights in our neighborhood? Go put that shit in the Bronx. Go put that shit in New York. You
Uh-huh.
understand? But they don't pay the tickets. And the community came together and said, we're not paying these tickets.
And
So my point that I'm trying to make is if people come together and they stand together in solidarity, we'll have
so, so
a
okay.
better reach.
Better foundation, you want to say? A better system?
Pretty much. It's not gonna be
Okay.
perfect. It's not gonna be perfect, but it'll be better than what we have now.
Okay. So, all right. So, me look at this, right? All right. Let me dissect everything you just said, right? You started out with the Matrix. You spoke about the red and the blue
No,
pill, right? No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
using it
I
as a
got you.
reference.
I'm having a reflective conversation. So, you started that way, right? So he had within himself he's gonna make the right choice anyway, right?
Right,
Me being the observer and being aware of what's actually going on, it was two different choices, right? So you can either the first one was either you remain asleep or
right,
you come with me to learn the truth, right?
right,
So he chose to learn the truth. He chose to remove himself from his limitations, right? That was basically him freeing himself. So the agents was a reflection of the system, right? So he was a
right,
renegade fighting the system, right? Cool. All right. Fast forward back to the tickets, the community in Long Island, right? The system structure stop signs or whatever, and the people kept getting ticket. They're like, bring it to New York, the Bronx, whatever, right? Those are the places. Okay. At what point did the people take accountability to say that, okay, I'm getting these tickets not only because of the stop sign, but based on the way that I'm functioning or utilizing my vehicle? So when I look at it as, especially society, I look at the buffers. Like people tend to buffer shit when it benefits them, right?
ah,
And I've actually stated this to one of my colleagues, like Rich, and I utilize this. I said, Rich, right? Say I'm a gunman, and basically, Rich don't like guns. So me being a gunman, Rich was against it, right? But the
Yeah.
day Rich walked down the street and somebody beat his ass, he see the benefit of the gun. So here come Rich coming to me because I have the gun. Like, yo, I need your help. I need to use your gun. So what Rich did was like, okay, he came to me because the shit benefited him.
Right.
But
That's
the
true. That's true.
hypocrisy within the bullshit.
Yeah,
So
you
when
got a point. You got a point.
so when people start taking accountability for the bullshit that they actually ingest, right? They will see what the truth is. Bro, look around you, bro. There's animals, bro, that feed off the land, that's utilizing the bare minimum. They're not stressed. They're not fighting a system. They're flowing with nature. Here we are, we supposed to be smarter than these animals, right? We're stressed, we're depressed, we're poisoning ourselves based on the shit we put into our system, based on the frequency we put into our system, right? Whether through the television or through music or whatever. It's our choice. We're doing it to us. But within the same construct, we're so out of ourselves on the external plane so much, we forgot to silence our fucking minds, right?
Yeah.
And go inward. There's so much noise around us.
But that's just mankind for you. They can't be satisfied. They can't find that. Not
So whose
everybody
fault
could.
is that?
That's our fault.
My point.
That's the same thing the nigga was basically
Yo,
saying.
switch that up to King, bro. No niggas around here.
Right. It's the same thing. It's the same thing the guy was saying about the Matrix again. I'm going to reference that movie again. He was saying the machines was trying to protect the humans being from themselves. And the reason why he put everybody, the last dying species, to sleep was because they were destructive within themselves. They started relying more on machine, which we are doing today. They started relying more on computer technologies and stuff like that. And eventually the machines put themselves out of the city and build a place to house the human beings.
So who's using who?
Huh?
Who's using who?
The machines was protecting the human beings from being extinct.
No, I grasp that. That's not what I'm asking you. What I'm asking you is this. All right, look. This is a cell phone, right? This is a computer. It makes calls, right? You can text, send messages, so on and so forth. This is an object, right? That's supposed to be used by me. Why the fuck is this thing using me? Why is it being so addictive where everywhere I turn, like you go on a date, it's on the table. You're driving your car, it's in your hand, but your car has the same computer in it that can reflect every single thing that you see on this. But we're driving down the road, texting, utilizing this, right? We're taking a shit, we're using this. So is it we that's using the shit or it's using us?
I think it's we that's using it and abusing it.
But if you can't, if it's like crack or sugar, it's basically using you because it seems like you can't do without it. Here you go. There's a lot of noise around you again.
As you can see, the phone. They used to. Can you stop? Hold on 1 second.
So the thing I want y'all to look at, honestly, people, keep in mind everything that you see around you. Yes, it was a system. Yes. Is it manipulative? Yes. Was it created to do such and such? But you're in control. Go within yourself. You control you, right? There's not a politician in the bathroom when you wake up in the morning to take a piss or touch your box or sit on the toilet. Feminine and masculine energy, right? There's no one standing by you when you poisoning yourself. Like, yo, you know, this chocolate bar may not do nothing right now because I'm in shape, right? But when you get sick, there's no one there. You're doing it. When you ingest that alcohol, you're doing it. And then we want, oh, it's peer pressure. I'm following start following you.
No, but certain people is not certain people is not built like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Bro,
do it right now.
everybody has the capability and everybody
Yeah, but
resonate with
what
the
now?
same energy and power that we resonate with. Because at a point we were not flowing the way we're flowing, and we did not know half of what we knew now. So no, I'm not taking that as an excuse, bro. That's why I stay between
No,
the middle.
I'm saying I'm not talking you. I'm talking like people. These people nowadays are so weak-minded. Like they can't think for themselves.
But
Like
they're not. They're not weak-minded. You're not. If you go back and
them,
look at the story you mentioned, they're not weak-minded, right?
they're the way they're set up is like they don't wanna. They some people just enjoy being in this in a world in a dream world.
So, okay, given the fact that they enjoy being in a dream world, are they wrong for wanting to be in a dream world? I don't believe they're
Well,
wrong. I believe it's timing. I believe at a certain point, it's not time for them to be enlightened. That's why people deflect from receiving certain information because they cannot induce themselves to comprehend it the time when they're getting it. But if you let them flow within their own mechanism and frequency within time, they will grasp it when they
yeah,
need to grasp
but
it.
not everybody get it. Not everybody get it. Not everybody get it. And some people just I don't think they want to get it. I just feel like you see like how you know where you know. All right, we like I always say, we might not agree on religion, whatever, right? But you know what you know, and we can all agree upon stuff that we need to be on one key. We might not agree on some things, but we have this one thing in common that this, you understand?
Hello.
Some people don't wanna some people don't wanna be on that. Who's that? Some people don't want to be on that frequency. Enter the studio. Come here, and show you how to do it.
Yeah, that was you know time flies so fast. You don't remember Asia, bro. She's a little kid. That was Asia. But yeah, sissy. Bro,
Jaden, give me 1 second, Jaden. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix this thing. Give me 1 second.
I do your thing. Mute
Yeah.
yourself.
Hello? You can hear me?
Mute yourself.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually don't believe that. I believe everyone, like I said, flow within the time frame that they need to flow within. I was not so aware 20 years ago. At the age of 12, I did not know what I know now. The age of 16, yes, I had this way about me, how I maneuver and how I did things. I didn't follow too much or flow with the energy of everybody else. You know, I was the weirdo in the bunch. And I stuck with that, right? I stuck with that and I started seeking informations and I started flowing the way I wanted to flow, when I wanted to flow, and how I wanted to flow. And that's basically what it is. See, even now, I've had my moments where I go around and I say, yo, oh, F you, it was your fault. But stepping back or even playing it back within myself, I realized I had nothing to do with no one. The reality I'm seeing for myself, I created it. That's what I'm saying. We have to go within. The minute we realize how powerful we are, right?
Yeah.
That's the beauty. Like, take the Matrix and look at it yourself. When he stopped fearing certain things,
Yeah.
he gained unlimited power.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And if you know how to decode movies, every movie has a protagonist and an antagonist.
Right. But you know, but wait.
Duality.
Wait. You know what everybody always look on when they watch a movie? They always look at the action and say, yo, the good guy win. That's what everybody looked at. That's what everybody looks at. Nobody don't look at the fact that this happened, that happened. How did this happen? Put this together. Everybody just look at the fact that Neo won, the system was wrong. Even the you know what's crazy about that movie? The Oracle was playing both sides. The architect was he's doing what he does. He's trying to bring perfection and he was trying to eradicate this guy, but he couldn't get this stubborn program out. Anderson actually had feelings that he never knew that would have manifested in him, because now he started getting angry. He started seeing things from like a human perspective. But even I'm gonna give another movie again. There was this other movie called Captive, right? Captive. That movie was, let me tell you something. That movie never made no money in the theater. But you know what everybody overlooked? Everybody overlooked the fact of the plan that they put in place that was to destroy the system. And they put this plan together, I'm going to say maybe 10 years. They took to put that plan together.
Did they destroy the system though?
They destroyed it.
Wait. Did they really?
Well, they destroyed a part of the system.
Okay,
I was reaching right there. A part of it.
Okay, so that's the thing that we need to look at, right? You cut a head off. It's like what do they call it? Is a Leviathan? Is that what they call it? When you Greek mythology, when you remove one head, 3 comes back, right?
Right.
Okay, so in actuality, somebody said this before, right? Damn, son, your background is fencing right now, but whatever. You remove, all right. Like for instance, right? Y'all wanna talk about?
What do you mean it's fencing,
bro? No. Never mind. I tell you off here. Don't pay no mind to it.
You can see me though, right?
I can see you're good. That's not what this. I said your background. I can hear everything in your background. Somebody just went to yeah. So what I was saying is, all right, like now you got people, right? They aim is to it's Democrats and the Republican, right? But they don't know the history of both, right? They don't pay attention to the history of both. They once were part of the same coin, right? The head and tail, same difference, right? So now they're like, oh, Trump's this. Let's go for Biden and Kamala. But they're not saying or looking at why should we go for Biden and Kamala? What is Biden and Kamala's track record? How have they benefit my people? When have they benefit my people? Right? What did they do? And how they did it? They're not looking at that. They're looking at it from an emotional standpoint. Right? So now the media has spun the story so much that Trump is a racist. I know what a racist really means, but they're looking at the up-to-date definition of racist, right? And I would say I feel like Aboriginal people need to be more racist, because racism originally was one that actually loved their race and wanted to see their race win. They wanted to elevate their race, right? So now it's like, oh, Trump this, Trump that, this, that, and the third. They don't know why. They just know that they want him out of office, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, fam, come on. Like, makes sense, man. Like, do your research. And then they're like, oh, he hasn't done anything. And people are still in love with Barack Obama. But if they check his track record, he hasn't done anything. You see what I'm saying? To benefit, because we have, that's why I say your background is fencing, because there's a lot of noise in your background.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
Bro, mute yourself. If you're gonna talk to your background, mute yourself. Yo, what is wrong with y'all New Yorkers, B?
I tell them all the time, I'm on the phone, I'm on the thing, and they just keep on making noise.
Mute yourself, bro. When you talk to them, mute yourself.
Jesus Christ.
Yo. What is
Oh
wrong?
my God! Like I can't get 5 minutes of quietness or so.
Yo, nah, son, you the father of the household, bro. You gotta be father 24/7, King. Yeah, but we need to look at the pie as a whole versus one-sided when it benefits us. Because at the end of the day, we're sabotaging us.
That's fact.
And we're feeding the system, right? Like you have dude on the corner talking about, yo, every corner, like, yeah, son, every corner there's a liquor store. And then you look in his hand, he has a fifth of vodka in his hand. He has a fifth of vodka in his hand. You see what I'm saying? He's drinking, but he's cussing the liquor store, right? He's doing this and he's doing that. He's drunk out his wazoo, but he's cussing the liquor store. Fam, why? You're contributing to the liquor store. Cut it out. You see what I'm saying? Like we look at the benefits, what it benefits us, but when to look at it when we're unbalanced, we don't look at it that way. And the joint is crazy to me.
You know,
You know
I have something I want to say to you, and this happened actually last night while we're on this Trump shit, whatever, right? My daughter came and whatever, she's here, whatever, right? And she says, "Oh, I don't like Trump." Now, I was like, "Why you don't like Trump?" She couldn't answer. I was like, "Is it because your mother says she don't like Trump? Is it because your grandmother says she don't like Trump? Or is it because you're here, somebody says something about him?" Like, I was like, "Sweetheart, I'm gonna teach you something. Before you go off hating somebody, do your research." And she was like, "You're right."
But let me ask you a question. In order to what's say you don't like somebody, right? It's an emotion, right?
A fact.
Okay, so go deeper and look at it like this. What is it that person is triggered inside of you for you not to like them? Because what I realized, right? People reflect each other. And the part that we don't like about someone is the part that we flow with within ourselves as well. It's that part that we utilize within ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? All these conditions. Perfect example. Look at masculine and feminine energy. Male and female. Why is it that most of them can't get along? It's due to conditions, right? What condition?
Opposite too.
But look at it. 9 times out of 10 in certain relationships, not all. A man, what would a male say? A male would say, "Yo, like I can't get to be a male. It's like she's trying to change me."
Right.
It's like he's fighting for his manhood.
Right.
And then a female would say the same thing.
He doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand me.
Right. Because
because he's trying to control me.
Right, because only thing a guy knows how to do is to give his perspective as a man.
So why can't I take your perspective and let it be a perspective and move forward from that? Why must I take your perspective and ingest it and now it's my perspective, right? Because I took on that emotion. And you know what they say? He who that triggers you controls
you, right? A fact.
Yeah. So the part that you don't like about that person is the same part you don't like about yourself. But you're trying to control that person and mold them into you.
Yeah. That's toxic.
Ain't that some shit? So, and then you turn around and say they're the toxic one.
Well,
forgetting that they're just a half of the story. You're the other half.
The victim, nobody want to hear about the villain because they know the villain did already. They want to hear about the victim. Their story always sells.
Fam, but the villain and the victim is the same. The villain became a villain because he's a fucking victim himself.
Right, he's a victim of the
circumstances, the same circumstances that you're a victim of. And that's where the sabotage should come from. We're all the same. We just have different habits, bro.
I see. You see, you're talking to a guy, so I'm gonna give you logic. Men think with logic, women weigh with their emotions. You know what
So
I'm
there,
saying?
see, come through, hit the link and join the show.
Yeah, women think with feelings, and this is why sometimes
But we have
what
feelings too, bro.
this is why when people are gay, sometimes they share the same interests because when they're gay, they could say that person could relate to me because they're that. You understand? So it's the
But
same
that's not
thing.
true. But that's not true. Regardless if they straight or they're gay, they
I'm
can they
just
can
I'm
both
just
they
I'm
can
just
both relate to each other.
I,
They don't shut up. They don't take the time to shut up to actually see the correlations.
a fact, but when it's in a person mind ignorantly, they just be like, "Yo, this person is the same thing as me," so they'll understand. You know
But
what I'm
they're
saying?
but they're not in a sense. Remember I said we're the same, right? Different habits. The habits changes the trajectory of it. The habits is what makes you different. Because you can smoke and I may not smoke. So guess what I'm not gonna do? I will hang around you, but when you start smoking, yo, bro, I love you, but peace, right?
Yeah.
You can drink and I don't drink. I'm like, yo, you have your whatever you have, and I have the water, but we be in the same area. You see what I'm saying? Your energy may be on 10 and mine's is a little bit more less. I don't want to be around that. It's just different habits, bro. But do we bleed? Do we eat, sleep the same? Do we move around in the avatar? Is the avatar being actually energized by the same substance? Yes. So we're the same in that aspect. But the habits change. So we got to go deeper, bro.
I think sometimes it's understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I would say it's understanding. Like if you gotta match that person energy for the most. If
Why?
you if, because if you match the person energy or if you match the person energy, it works so well.
But wait, let me ask you this. Why should I match your energy when I'm me and you're you? Right? Why, like I said, why can't I hang around you without attaching myself to you or being drawn in by anything you say? When you say it, how you say it, where you say it, and why you say it. Why can't I just leave it just that? Why must I judge you? Picture in a domain, there's no judgment. You're free to do whatever the hell you want to do, right? And everything is going according to plan. And I don't attach and take your energy. Because the funny thing about it, everybody, right? Like everybody you meet has a reflection of 100 people in them based on every people or person, excuse me, every person they have met in their life and that they grew to attach themselves to, they become. It's like a chameleon. And the real you is stifling underneath there. So like the real you might show its head, right? And you're so fixated on all the other reflections you have, you be like, oh, I don't like that. But that's you. So what you need to do is to actually gravitate and harness the spirit of you more. And that's what people is going wrong because they want Alcott to be Jermaine and Jermaine to be Alcott, but Jermaine is Jermaine and Alcott is Alcott.
But guess what? You see, I'm glad you mentioned that. You know why that's not gonna work? Because if they can't control you, I was talking to my wife about that today. I don't know if you got a camera watching me and shit like that because everything you're saying is something that I've been over either a couple hours ago or
Bro, energies, bro.
it
Empath,
it
yo.
it,
But go ahead.
it if I was telling my wife today this, right? I said when you're quiet, right, they don't bother you. When you're an outspoken person, they get rid of you. But if you fuse them together, you are forced to reckon with. If you're quiet
Mm-hmm.
and they can't push you around
Mm-hmm.
and you're a strong person, they fear you.
Okay.
You
Let
feel me?
me let me say something about that and what I'm noticing.
How's my
So
picture? How's my picture? Better?
your picture is good, King. So what I've realized, right? Because I too used to do this. Like especially when I go on a job, I wanted to show my dominance, right? And wanted to show my dominance was how smart I was, my ideologies, my beliefs, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna give you a preference from the 48 Laws of Power. And
I read that. I
through
didn't
the
read all of it. That's a good whatchamacallit book.
Through-
48 Laws of Power.
through the 48 Laws of Power, right? I've learned that not everything you feel, you should say it. Right? Not
Agreed.
every action, right? Or every little thing that triggers you should act on it. And I've learned it in my relationships as well. Right? Sometimes it's good to let her win even when she's wrong. Or sometimes it's good to let him win, Queen, knowing he's wrong. Right? Because that's going to stabilize the energy.
That's
right?
but that's matching the person. Whatchamacallit right
it's
there.
It's not matching them. You're still being you. You're not settled, like you're not selling yourself short. Within, you know who you are, right? You're just not allowing them to pull on your energy. And that's the thing, like even with my mom, like I love my mom, but like my mom used to trigger the hell out of me. And it's crazy because in a lot of ways, me and my mom is alike. We don't like BS, right? We're very carefree and we speak our minds. And we don't give it when we speak our minds. But I've realized speaking my mind at an untimely pace can cause conflict, right? So here I am going around like, oh, damn, oh, he's smart. So now people have me as, oh, he act like he knows it all. No, did I say I know it all? No, they say I act like I know it all. So the problem is within them, right? Right? So it creates an unbalance. They start to feel jealousy because they see something in me they lack, right? But within the same sense, not because I see that or whatever, it doesn't mean that I exploit that about them. It doesn't mean that I show that they're stupid, because nobody is stupid. Same energy, different habits, and it is what it is. So we need to understand and know when to fight and how to fight. Because if this shit is strategic, bro, like you gotta study people.
Yes, that's a fact. Because what you see when you observe, you gain more knowledge. When you talk, I always tell my daughter that, but she don't get it. When you talk, everything misses you. Sometimes you gotta be passive. I learned being passive gets you so much more.
Greetings.
Get you a lot more.
JC,
Hello.
welcome.
Hey guys, how are you doing tonight?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just really enjoying the conversation. I think it's kind of relative or relevant, I guess, at this time of my life. So I just wanted to join to maybe talk a little bit.
Appreciate it. Go ahead, man. You can feel free to share something with us.
Yeah, no, I was just really digging how you're talking about that energy component, and we're all the same. It's just that we have different habits. And I guess I'm in a situation where I'm experiencing something similar with a close friend of mine that I had for quite a few years, and two of us are on different paths, I guess. And I guess I would have, prior to listening to that statement you made, I would have said we're on two different paths, but I guess we just have two different habits. And I have a harder time of being around those habits that he's involved with. And as a result of that, it kind of seems that we're not as close as what we have been in the past. And it seems as if he feels that I have been disrespecting him, and he kind of feels I'm out to get him, I guess. And some other friends of mine had made the reference where it's like, it's almost jealousy, right? So the things that he seems to accuse me of is representative of who he is, you know. So like you say that, I mean, you can say that, you know, one person's a problem or one person's toxic or one person's been disrespectful, but that's only half of the situation, or that's only half of the bigger picture. And I feel that from my side, I recognize that, but I feel from his side, he's just resentful at the moment, and he doesn't see it like that, right? So I don't know, like, what do you think some advice could be there?
Honestly, I feel like I was telling him earlier, I feel like people have so much conditions. Like take love for instance, right? We claim we love someone, right? And we sometimes we generally might love that person, but due to the traumas that we actually had before that person, we create these conditions, right? So we don't look at that person as a whole. We don't look at them without judging them. The conditions come when we apply them to them, and that's where the problem comes into play. So if you step back, and I'm generalizing here, if you step back and just look at them for them, like, okay, this is why I became friend with that person. This is what I love about them, and this is what they did, and embrace that, everything else would be out the window. So what if y'all don't do the same thing or believe in the same thing? But the love wasn't on what you do alike. The love was the uniqueness of that person. So just look at them the way you always look at them, and you will continue to love them for who they really is, without the judgment.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. It just feels that
Is money involved? Like this person feels like
no, not at all. Not at all. It's just that, you know, we've been close friends for like many years, and then it's just, you know, in the last couple of months or so, things have kind of just went, you know, like you can feel it, man. You can just feel that energy isn't there, right? It's just like there's something going on.
did a new
And
person came in the picture?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I just feel that there was just some resentment there, and I'm not quite sure where it came from or where it originated from, but there's definitely some resentment there towards me, and I feel that you know, I feel that I've been a good friend, but it's just that, you know, something is there that hasn't been communicated, and as a result, yeah, it's put a tremendous amount of strain on us. But I do recognize that we are in two different places. We have two different habits, like two sets of habits, and I don't find myself spending as much time with him anymore because what he's into, I'm not into anymore. And I think that he feels that, you know, maybe I'm not giving him the attention that I once did, or maybe like we're not as cool as what we used to be. But it's not that I have a problem with him. It's just that I don't want to be involved with the things that he's involved with.
Oh, I see it. It's growth. You're growing.
Yeah, maybe that could be it. Yeah.
You're growing.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to sieve out everything he's trying to say.
So within it's bro, like just listen to, I'm listening to him. It's growth. He's growing. And he tapped it on the head when he said, he's also said, I am no longer into what he was
into. Right?
Into. So it's growth. And that's understandable. But the difference is the issue is really not with you. Right? So, and I don't really think it's an issue, but it's with your friend. And if you can pretty much have a sit down with and just get them to speak and vent, and that will give you guys balance, regardless of whatever. You know, because one of the funniest things to me, JC, is that picture somebody being mad at you and you don't know that they're mad at you, right?
Yeah, they got an invisible beef.
And it's eating away at you. Yeah. And if the relationship is as valuable as you say, you want to have that conversation, right? And if you push for that conversation and he's not reluctant to receive it, then you know you have to step forward, because relationships are seasonal, right? And sometimes where we're going, sometimes it's time to let go. And I know I can speak from experience. Like There is times when like I pray for people to be removed out of my life, but yet at the same time, right? I miss them. I haven't spoken. They haven't called in a month, forgetting that I actually prayed for them not to be in my life, right? And not seeing that the universe is granting me all of this, right?
Right.
So now I miss them, right? And I just have to let it go, even though sometimes it hurts. And that's how love works. Love works with separation. And if it's genuine, with time, that connection will be surreal again. So
Right.
you can't sell yourself short. So, wow, bro, your background. Mute your mic. Yeah, you, Mr. New Yorker. Yes, you.
Yeah, let me go.
Yeah, your background is woo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Appreciate you for coming.
All right.
But the thing is, because we're talking about sabotage in the same breath too, right?
Right.
And most of the time, we're the one that's doing the sabotaging too, right? And we don't look at what we contribute to that sabotage. We also sometimes we look at the person like, oh, it's their fault, but it takes two to flow a certain way, or it takes two to have an argument, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to step back and look at it like, oh, maybe I could have did this differently. But at the same time, the objective is not to beat on yourself. The objective is never to sit there and sob in your own plight, like, oh man, I did it and feel bitter about it. Sometimes we need to detach so we can be free, because the attachments is what cause the clusters and discomfort within us. Period. And I know that for sure, because 90% of the time when I feel a certain way is based on situations that I've held on to and the conversations I play back in my head over time, right? So I'm sitting here feeling a certain way, and then the next person is just la-di-da-da-da going on with their life and so on and so, while I'm hurting and so on and so forth. Yeah. So we got to work on detaching, and it's difficult, but you got to recognize it.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, man, because I feel like, and I mean, this is like this is fresh, so it's like maybe I'm kind of low energy, maybe like as I'm talking, because it's just kind of sitting there, right? But it's just one of those things, man, where it's just like it's just tough, because you're right, it probably has to do with growth, and it's like I feel that I've taken a different path and I have different habits now, and those habits that I enjoy doing conflict with the habits that he enjoys doing, and then, there might be some resentfulness from him, or maybe some ego or something, or some blame, or I'm not even sure what it is, man. Like, I just feel like that what I'm trying to do in my life right now is to better my position. I want to be a stronger version of myself. I want to get ahead in life, like I want to move forwards, not backwards. And I feel that the type of things that he's doing is things that like keep me stagnant. Like, it doesn't help me grow as an individual. And I find when I commit time to that relationship, I don't find that there's any real like stimulation, like any real value to it. It just feels like I'm there because we have a history together, and I feel like I should be there, but I don't have any like, mental stimulation, or like any, like the conversations aren't flowing. Like, it's not anything, like I don't feel there's any value to it, and I feel that as like I'm seeking something else somewhere, and it's just not in that environment. You know what I mean? So maybe it is me growing, and it's something that I need to deal with, and I just need to detach from the situation. But at the same time, I need to have a conversation with him about it as well.
Absolutely.
But I feel that is like he doesn't want to have any part of it, right? Like, he doesn't want to have a conversation with me about it.
So what I would do, right? And it's funny because I've told a couple of friends about it. What I would do, I would write a letter having that conversation, right? And I'll burn it.
Yeah.
Because we're energetic beings, right? And we have frequency. So you can have the conversation within yourself and let it be what it is, you know, until time comes around and that person want to have that talk.
Yeah.
You can't force them. You know, you got to continue being you. You can't let it stagnate you, because like I said, it sounds like you're growing, and the fact that you're growing is like you're yearning for like different information and a different vibe, and that's not it anymore. Not that you don't care for the person, but your growth requires something else. So I say to you, keep growing and don't beat up yourself.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Like I say, it was interesting because I just happened to come across this live stream, and your topic and timing was just perfect. Right? Like I need to, I need to jump in, man. So
it's all good, man. It's no issue. I love the fact that you actually share. It's something we do every weekend. Everyone is welcome. So in the future, if you have anything else you would like to add, feel free. You know, I'm not biased. I really don't take sides. I stay within the middle, and I aim to let people see things how they need to see it. Because at the end of the day, your story, you're the one writing it, and your eyes only see as far as your feet takes you. So you got to realize within every breath and moment in time, you're creating your own reality. Right. And we create things within us, you know, like we're pretty much a blank canvas in the story we're writing it, regardless of how many people is within your space. And we got to understand that. And when we understand that, we'll see that everything else outside of us is not what it really seems to be. And we can't allow it to cause conflicts within us. And that's just is what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm not familiar with your channel. So like what is it, like the theme? Is it just more of just more like open discussions, dialogue? Like what's the format here?
So the group is called MEN-talRollaDeK. It stands for balance, pretty much. Originally it's a male group, but I'm about to change that. But I allow females to come in and converse as well, to give empowering opinions and so on and so forth. Because I feel like in order for us to be greater, we have to connect to people on a different level. And we all have different, like I said, habits, but we all flow with the same energy. So it's for free thinkers. It's for people that feels like they're weird. You know, if you have something you want to say, you feel like you don't have the opportunity to say it, you can say it on here.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's cool, man. Well, yeah, it sounds like a pretty interesting space that you've created. So again, I appreciate it for sure.
All right, no problem, man. Gratitude for actually coming in and joining the show. Appreciate that. About to close out. For those of you that would like to participate, please send me a friend request on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at MEN-talRollaDeK. YouTube, like and subscribe and share at MEN-talRollaDeK. On Twitch at MEN-talRollaDeK. And for those of you out there that's listening for the first time, feel free to join us again. Gratitude to JC for sharing. I appreciate the conversation. Gratitude for Alcott for actually being here. And to everyone, prosperity, bliss, and elevation. Love. One.